Okay. So thank you for joining us. Another episode at No Bibs, Burps, Bottles, the #1 online brand community platform that empowers, celebrates, and highlights child-free African-American women to live their best child-free lives. So I am delighted to have Stephanie McClain. Stephanie joined No Bibs Burps Bottles, I think pretty much in our infancy, and I have appreciated her support. She's also helped me a little bit with my own YouTube channel. So now she is here as a guest sharing her child-free story with us. So Stephanie, I'm going to give you the opportunity to share your name, where you live, your career, and also share an interesting fact that maybe a lot of people don't know about you.
Okay. Hey y'all, what's up? So my name is Stephanie McClain. I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been living in Atlanta most of my life. I'm originally from Stamford, Connecticut. I've been back and forth to Connecticut several times throughout my life. I lived in different cities besides Atlanta. I'm 41 years old. Um, I have no children. As far as my career wise, I don't work. I'm on Social Security, but I am a business owner as well. Um, Unique things about me. Um, I'm very entrepreneurial spirited. I'm a go-getter. I don't wait and don't rely on the government to take care of me. A lot of people be like, "Oh, you're on disability. You ain't making no money." But I get all types of like comments because I'm a YouTuber, and so I talk about my experiences being disabled, and so I'm very unique. I'm very open-minded. I speak my mind freely. And that's just a little bit about me. My goal is to become a billionaire. So I have a billionaire mindset. No matter what nobody say, my parent, my mom, you know, I'm often called lazy because my mom's like, you need to get a job. I'm not getting a job. I haven't had a job in 1 year, and I've been doing my business, and it's been successful.
Awesome, awesome. And I watch you and I follow you online. So I've been, again, we met through the emergence of No Bibs Burps Bottles, and
Yeah,
I appreciated you working with me. You helped me create my just kind of my YouTube presence. And although
yeah.
I'm not as active as I would like to be on YouTube, it was great to have child-free besties that I can actually connect with to say like, hey, this is a strength of yours. Would you mind helping me out? But let's kind of get right into it. And again, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself. So you talked a little bit already about some of your identities, and I like to start there in regards to being Black, being child free, being, as you mentioned, a disabled woman or a woman with a disability, and maybe some other identities that you hold. How do you navigate the world with all of those identities?
Well, what's most important to me is my health. As a child-free person, I never wanted to have kids because of me battling with mental illness most of my life. I've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder at 15 years old, in and out of institutions most of my life, and feeling like if I would have a child, I would be considered an unfit mother because of my mental illness. I don't have the patience for children. I am a proud auntie, I'm a proud auntie. I could be an aunt all day, but actually, with what I go through, when I battle with a lot of depression, I know I can't take care of children. I already know. So why put myself in a situation, having kids and possibly giving up my kid for adoption or having my mom take care of it because of my mental illness. And that's just the truth. And I'm unapologetic now about being child free. Like before, in my early 30s, I was always like, I don't know, like I feel sorry for myself, like for the reason why I don't have kids, And now, as I'm 41 now, and I'm good. I don't want them. I can't mentally. I can't deal with it. So why try to have children when I know I'm not emotionally suitable for kids. So
Yeah, yeah. And Stephanie, I so much appreciate that because I hear from women, everybody has a different reason for why they're child free by choice or child free by circumstance. And I appreciate your honesty because I think more women need to hear that. There are women who struggle with mental illness, have mental health challenges, physical challenges, physical health challenges, but yet they're still getting the pressure to have a child. And so you being able to sit back and say, let me reflect with the challenges that I have with my mental health. And you said it yourself, would I be an unfit mother? And it seems like you're not willing to take that risk. You're not willing to bring kids in the world, not necessarily knowing if you will be a fit mother. How did you come to that conclusion? Because some people would say, well, I have a mental disability or a mental illness and I still have a family. So how did you come to that conclusion for yourself?
because I just know myself. I just know what I've been through. And after working in a child care center for 1 month, I was like, hell no, I just can't do this. After having the experience of working in a daycare and trying to take care of little kids, little toddlers, infants, I don't like changing diapers. I don't want to do that. So I just realized that kids are just not meant for me. They're really not. And like I said, it stems back to my mental illness. Now, if I didn't have, the mental issues going on, would I still have kids? I don't know. I don't know because I don't want to have the baby daddy drama if I was to had a child through a man and all that. I just don't want that for myself. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't have the tolerance for it.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I always say, I never try to tell people that they should or should not have kids. I just share my own narrative of being child free and I welcome other sisters to share their narrative. But also I want to encourage women if they plan to have children, these are the things that we need to think about. Women need to think about their mental health, their financial stability, their
Yep.
physical health. All those are important. So you said the word unfit. What did you mean by that?
Emotionally unstable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah. Cause like with my mental illness, it's all emotional. It's all emotional and behavioral. And I know with the depression that I face on a regular basis, that's a sign for me to not have children. Like I can't even take care of a dog. That's People tell me all the time, they're like, you need to get you a dog. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't need a dog, you know, um, they're great little pets to have and, just have to just for support, but I I can't even take care of a dog. I'm just being
yeah.
straight up honest.
Yeah. And
And
again, the transparency, because a dog, let me tell you, a dog is work too. I have a dog over here laying on the floor and he was a handful, but I also I've worked in higher education and with the emergence of emotional support animals, they come in handy. But when a person is going through a depressive episode, they barely want to get out of bed. So if they don't want to get out of bed, how do you think they're not going to want to get out of bed to take the dog out or feed the dog? So we
right,
end up seeing animals who are not necessarily taken the best care of. So again, I'm glad that you know yourself and I'm glad that you're keeping it real with yourself. So going back to
sure.
just being child free and being unapologetically child free. Can you recall just how your upbringing was in regards to that? Like, do you recall having dolls shoved in your hand and you'll be a great mom, or your mom and your aunties or family saying, when are you going to have kids? So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, as far as my mom, she never really questioned me about when I'm gonna have kids. She did say, yeah, you need a man in your life and possibly a child, but she never would question me like, when are you gonna have kids? When am I gonna be a grandparent and all this stuff? But like my family, like my cousins and my grandmother, they was always like, Stephanie, you're getting older. Like I come from a Jamaican background. My mom is Jamaican, my father's side is American. But a lot of the Jamaican side of my family, they're always like, when you're gonna have kids, you need to have kids. You need to have children. You're getting older. Your mom needs a granddaughter, a grandfather. Yeah. So, it's a lot of like my Jamaican side that would ask me, what am I gonna do when I get older? When I become elderly, I'm gonna need somebody to take care of me. I'm gonna need, I'm gonna need kids in my life to be there for me when I get older. I get questioned about that a lot. As far as my upbringing coming up, my friends, they'd be like, "You don't want no kids, Stephanie?" I'm like, I can't deal with it. I just don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
And all my friends got kids, and sometimes they make me feel a certain kind of way. Like they make me feel like I'm being selfish when I'm truly not being selfish. It's just how I feel. I just don't want any.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
yeah.
in the Jamaican part of your family, it talks about culture because in certain cultures and certain families, and having children is something significant, right? It's just like,
Mm,
what is your purpose if you don't have a husband or a family?
right.
And so in a Jamaican culture, family is important. In the
Yeah.
African American culture, family is important. So I'm not surprised that you would get maybe some of that from your family. With you being the child-free bestie or the child-free sister in your friend group and many of them having kids, tell me how you navigate that because for some people, not all, for some it can be overwhelming. So can you share a little bit about the times in which in your family someone questioned you about having kids? So you talked about your Jamaican side and someone saying like you're getting older, why
Hmm.
don't you have kids? What is typically your response and how do you handle those conversations while still being respectful to family members?
Um, Most of the times, like with my family, once I tell them about the mental illness, they just automatically get it and they'll stop questioning me. Now I grew up in a church. I grew up in a Pentecostal type of background, church or whatever. And a lot of the church family, they'll ask me that too. And they're like, "Oh, you need to have kids, girl. You're missing out. You're missing out. How old are you? 25? You don't have no kids." I'm like, I don't want any. And it's like I have to get an attitude with the church family for them to stop freaking asking me about the kid situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like if I don't get aggressive and get an attitude, it's kind of like they'll keep bugging me, asking me the same question about, children. So
And the thing is, you have to continue to live in your truth, which it seems like
right.
you're doing, right? And sometimes we have to kind of, all right, we got to poke out that chest a little more because sometimes people feel like the more they ask, the more it may sink into our spirit. At
Mm,
41, which we know is an older age and you could be at risk for having children, people are still like,
right.
you're only 41. You can still
Yeah.
have kids. And so being able to talk to your church family and your Jamaican family, or anyone for that matter, still standing 10 toes down and being comfortable in that. So let's talk a little bit about because again, most people will assume you need to have a baby, meaning you need to have a husband and you need to have a man. So, in me knowing you, but sharing this with our larger audience, you are a woman that loves women. And so, how does that play out in your family?
Well, let me discuss my dating situation. Like I said, I'm like you said, I'm a woman that like women. I don't like to label myself as a lesbian, but the majority of people will. So I find it very challenging to date as a person in the LGBT community, especially a single person at 41, never married. I meet a lot of women that are about 35 to 55. They got grandkids, some of these women that are like in their mid 30s, they want to have more children. So they want to be with somebody that wants to have children. Okay, that wants to have more children, maybe I should say. And then when I'm asked, why I don't have kids, and I explain that, I'm either disqualified from dating them because I say I have a mental illness, but then, when it comes to the kids part, and I tell that person that I don't want to have children, it's like they don't want to be bothered with me because they feel like I'm being selfish because of what I choose, what I don't want. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I meet women that have all these kids, and the ones I've been meeting recently, they have older children. That's cool or whatever. I don't mind dating somebody with older children, but these young little toddlers and babies and all that, I'm not trying to do it. And like when I explain myself and tell these women that I don't want children, it's automatically like a brush off because
Hmm.
I don't want to have kids. I find dating very difficult, not only child free, but just being disabled. It's like I got two whammies against me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, I don't really have a career. I'm a business owner. And some people think like, you ain't making no money. So it's hard. It's hard for me to be, child free, disabled, trying to go out there and date and often get rejected because of me not wanting kids and being disabled at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Stephanie. And I appreciate, again, you being so transparent because I truly believe that the sisters and all the guests that come on the podcast or on our channel, there someone's listening and someone's just like, I see myself in her. Stephanie is speaking directly to me. So thank you for being so transparent with your story. But I also have a follow-up question. And that follow-up question is because there may be that rejection at time because of the identities that you hold, you being child free, you having a disability, managing your mental illness, being an entrepreneur, and maybe not having the 9 to 5 like some people want. How do you protect your mental health? How do you not let that get you down and just want to give up altogether?
Honestly, I do let it get me down sometimes. Um, I have a therapist, I had to seek counseling because of my mental illness. I've been in counseling the majority of my adult life, my young teenage years life. And honestly, if it wasn't for my wonderful therapist, I don't know where I would be emotionally because I would be like severely depressed like every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just I let my emotions get to me. I'm always in my feelings, pretty much. And I talked to my therapist about me not having kids, and she's like, "That's perfectly fine." You know what I'm saying? She's happy for me. Um, Sometimes I'm not happy for myself because at one point I did want kids. I wanted kids in my early 20s, but at that time I was sleeping around with dudes and I was just like having one night stands. I was
Living
just
your
having one night
life.
stand. Yeah, I was just living life. And at the time I wanted to have kids, but I was scared. Like when I was with men, I was really scared to get pregnant. So I never did.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I had protected sex and all that, and I would just do it, and then that's it. But this one guy I was with, he was like, "Let's have kids. I'm gonna give you a baby." I'm like, "No, you not. I ain't having no kids. You ain't giving me shit."
And think about that. I'm just going to give you a baby, but are you going to be a father? There's a difference
Right,
because every
right,
man can give somebody a baby, but are you going to be a father? Do you want to create a family? Because that's a
right,
huge difference, a huge difference.
right.
So you're basically saying, whoo, while I was living my life, I dodged some bullets,
Yep,
didn't have any kids, but now as an older adult, it sounds like you like where your life is now being child free.
I do. I really do. I have so much freedom. You know, I'm able to just deal with myself and not deal with kids being on public assistance because that's another thing. Like I get disability, I'm on a fixed income. Like, how could I take care of a child when I get one disability check? my business income is sporadic. I don't make money all the time on my business. So I'll just be this struggling Black woman out here with all these food stamps and all this government assistance and just being miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So why go through that?
Yeah.
You know, why put myself in a situation where I got all these baby daddies and these dudes that ain't gonna take care of my kids when I don't need to deal with that. If I know if somebody knows that they don't want to have kids, why would they, try to put themselves in these situations to where, they'll possibly get pregnant and have kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
And the
so,
situation is not conducive to having kids, right? If you're trying to say, hey, I'm trying to just take care of myself, again,
yeah,
physical health, mental health, providing for yourself, if you're trying to just manage that on a day to day, why bring other people into that when it may even
right,
be more of a struggle, more of a struggle.
right.
So tell me about kind of your thoughts when you think about being child free,
Mhm.
and you kind of alluded to it earlier where family members or friends might say like, you don't want kids, like who's going to take care of you? So how do you answer that for yourself? Because I know as child free individuals, as single individuals, we may have to be more intentional on what our future may look like. So when
Mhm.
someone says, well, who's going to take care of you, Stephanie, what comes to mind?
What comes to mind? What comes to mind is my nieces and nephews. Um, I know that what I do for them, they'll definitely do for me when I get older, because my legacy is to leave like my wealth behind for them. And I did tell one of my nieces that when I become like a big baller, making real money, life changing income, that I'm gonna be able to take care of you, give you what you want and stuff. So when I pass, my goal is to share my wealth with my nieces and nephews. And one of my nieces was like, "Yeah, Stephanie, I got your back when you get older." I mean, they say that now, but let's see. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so it's like my sisters got my back, my nieces and nephew got my back. So I ain't gotta worry about, trying to have my children to have my back when I get older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
them trying to take care of me. Yeah. Even my mom, my mom is 76 and she's like, you know, yeah, I don't want y'all taking care of me when I get old. I'm not gonna be in a nursing home,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't need my kids to take care of me. Well, here's the thing with me. I don't need no kids to take care of me neither. Just like how my mom think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's good.
So
It's good to have family. Hey, I'm stopping my own YouTube video and podcast episode to let you know about nobibsburpsbottles.com. That's right, stop and visit our website today. We have a bunch of awesome child-free pride merchandise made especially for you. Visit nobibsburpsbottles.com today. Peace. You can't guarantee that having kids they will take care of you, and we can't say that because we have nieces and nephews or god kids that they would take care of us, but we hope that if we do the right thing, they love us, we love them, that when
yeah,
it's time to transition, that they will do right. And I hope the same thing. I hope that my nephew and my goddaughters will somehow take care of me and go to the store and get my medication and all that good stuff. But let's hope that we still have Instacart and all these other great things to help
I
us
know,
as we get older, as we
I
get older.
know,
So, but what kind of auntie are you? So a lot of times, there are aunties who are not really living that auntie life, just like
I
there are
know.
moms who are not really living that mom life. But what kind of auntie are you, especially since you referenced your nieces and nephews?
I'm an emotionally supportive auntie. Maybe I should say. Yeah, I don't make a lot of money and all that. I can't really splurge and do financial stuff for my nieces and nephews right now. but I'm there for them. So even though I can't really, give out the money and, do take trips and all that,
Mhm.
I'm pretty much gifting her a business, maybe I should say a website. So, I do like a lot of business stuff for my nieces and nephews. My other nephew, I'm building a website for.
Mhm.
Um, my other niece, like I promote her on social media sometimes. So I try to do stuff that I do something, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, for
Yeah.
my nieces and nephews. Yeah,
You're using that skill set. So
yeah,
who doesn't appreciate someone creating a website for them after they finish school so that they can promote their own business, right? And a lot of
yeah.
times it's not always about monetary. It's not always about what money I can give you and here's the $50 bill, but like, is it me sitting down helping you strengthen your business? Is it me sitting down helping you fill out that college application? Is it me just giving you good auntie to niece, auntie to nephew advice? So
Mhm.
again, it seems like you're a very active auntie, and that's a good thing. A good
Yeah,
thing.
I'm a resourceful, proud auntie.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So as far as community, Stephanie, so again, you're active on social media and I see you involved in different things and I so appreciate you supporting No Bibs Burps Bottles. As you talk about the other identities that you mentioned, having a disability or mental health or women who love women, are you connected to other communities? How do you find support in other areas? So you got your child-free besties, but what about all those other identities that you hold? Do you have support systems?
Well, I used to be really active in the mental health industry, like back in 2015, like several years ago. I used to go to, I don't know if you're familiar with NAMI, National Alliance, yeah, National Alliance of Mental Illness. Like I was actually working in mental health at one point. I used to be very active. I used to run a support group a long time ago. And then
Oh,
I had a YouTube channel sharing my mental illness story and stuff, but I ended up closing it down because I got real insecure about what I was sharing online.
mm-hmm.
It was a lot of videos I used to make about it,
Wow.
talking about living with bipolar disorder and stuff. But every once in a while I do, engage in these African American mental health support groups on Zoom, through a website called meetup.com.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll go to the virtual support groups. I'm not really active like how I used to be in the mental health community, but I really need to start getting active again. As far as the LGBT community, I don't know. Like, I'm not really active in the LGBT community like that. Like, I deal with social anxiety. I'm just being straight up honest. And I find it very hard to engage with a lot of like lesbian women in public.
Okay.
But I'm in all these Facebook groups online, like all these lesbian, all these lesbian groups online. I'm good at the social media engagement, but
Yes, you are. You do
in
have a
real,
good presence on social media. So in a sense, you do engage. You engage in a way that feels good to you, right?
yeah,
And as long as it feels good to you and you're getting your needs met, that's all that matters, right? I know that you support child-free brands. I know that you support other entrepreneurs. So if it feels good to you, then keep doing it. Keep doing it.
yeah. So my therapist, we discussed me being a little more social offline, like in real life, and she's like, you need to do because sometimes like I get bored easily and I spend a lot of time by myself. Like right now I'm at home and I'm so stuck in my comfort zone of being at home to where I don't like to get out often. And it's not even financially that is the reason why I don't like to get out. I'm just so used to just being out in public and being nervous and shy sometimes to where it just makes me not want to get out. But my
Mhm.
therapist is trying to get me to break out of, this cycle of just being alone all the time and doing all this stuff online. She's like, why don't you research these child-free events in Atlanta? Because Atlanta got a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And she's like, you need to get out and meet these people. If you want to be with somebody one day in a relationship, you're not going to be meeting these people on the internet. And the people that I have met on the internet has been just like idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I really need to get out and start meeting more child-free, Black women and not
We
really Black.
we out
Not,
here.
I
Well,
know.
we out here in these streets, but it's also about just meeting people and
Yeah.
meeting community and creating your tribe. And Atlanta has a lot going on. Atlanta
Yeah.
is different. So I
Mhm.
can see how, because for me, Atlanta would be overwhelming. And we share some similarities in regards to like, I can feel comfortable in my home and I have my small circle and I'm
Yeah.
good. But I also know that I need to also put myself out there. So let that be a goal for both of us in 2024. I like the direction your therapist is going, so I'm going to take that advice for myself, and
Okay.
we're going to be out here in these North Carolina, Georgia streets in 2024. So,
Yeah.
but so Stephanie, tell me a little bit when what other when you think about media and marketing and TV shows, um are there child-free Black women that come to mind?
Um, well, I love Queen Latifah and I love MC Light. And when I see those Black women with no kids and just living their child free, Oprah too,
Yeah.
billionaire, millionaire lifestyles, it really encourages me to keep pushing with what I'm trying to accomplish with my business and my brand. Um, a lot of times women that are Black that don't have kids are often portrayed as being selfish and self-centered because they don't have children, which is untrue.
Yeah.
You know, um, I don't know why it's pushed like that, but there's nothing wrong with a Black woman not wanting to have kids. And there's a lot of Black women now that are just choosing not to want to have children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it makes me feel even more better about myself that there's another Black sister that I could relate to that is child free, especially like the child free, real professional Black women that got like these really good careers and stuff. It pushes me. It
Yes.
pushes me to want to like, work more towards being financially free so I can really and truly enjoy life even though I'm disabled.
Yes. Yes. Thank you
Mhm.
again. Dropping nuggets, dropping jewels, because again, I believe that there is someone who's listening who's saying, I want the same thing for me. And if Stephanie can do it, if Angela can do it, if the guest last week can do it, I can do it. And that's why I know Bibs Burps Bottles is created. I wanted to create a community where I didn't feel alone. And then when I realized, oh, there are other sisters that didn't want kids. And we actually have all these backgrounds, entrepreneurs, billionaires, and everybody in the middle. So again, I appreciate you sharing. So as we come to a close, I wanted to ask you, as you sit with me now, as Stephanie McClain, are there any regrets that you have right now in regards to where you are in life? So that could be child free, your physical challenges, just any regrets.
Um, well, I'm diabetic, type 2 diabetic for like going on 6 years now. And I do regret taking care of my health a little bit. Like I should have really been more serious about my health in my early 30s because that's when I got diabetes. And, I was very irresponsible, just doing all the eating and not working out, not exercising. As far as my career wise, I kind of wish that I wouldn't have got on disability in my early 30s. Like I wish I could have kind of like hold it off on that until like later on in life when I got older when I was just trying to get retirement out of my disability. I wish that I could have succeeded more, in my career, because I went to school, I have a degree, and when I was in college, I just couldn't find a job. I couldn't find a job because I couldn't find a job. Couldn't get through interviews and things like that. And I wish that career wise, I could have pushed myself a little bit more, even though I'm disabled.
Mhm.
I wish that I could actually had like a professional career, and I kind of missed out on that. And I mean, I could have been doing a lot more
Mhm.
money wise, but since I deal with the challenges, like it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to just
Yeah. But
it's hard to live, but I'm living. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
and that's where I was going. I was just like, you are still here. You are living again. I'm like, she has so many, your hands are in so many small pots. And I think that's how billionaires create. They come to form because they're not just in one lane. They have a lane, but in that lane they have these small lanes. So you
Yeah.
have your website business, you have your t-shirt business, you have your help people with YouTube business. So I know I'm proud of you because, again, just by us having the commonality of being child free and you being part of No Bibs Burps Bottles and at least supporting No Bibs Burps Bottles, I thought of you when it was time for me to think about, because I literally didn't even know how to create YouTube. And I was just like, I remember seeing Stephanie's video, or I remember seeing that Stephanie did that. And that's how connections form, quite frankly. So I believe that you're doing the damn thing, and I want to encourage you to continue doing the damn thing. So
Thank
this
you.
last question, Stephanie. So again, thank you so much for sharing your child-free narrative. So if you were to communicate and connect with a young sister, maybe she's in her early 20s, and you come across her and she's just like, I am child free, but I'm getting a lot of hell and pressure from my family, maybe from my partner, and I know that you're child free. How can you support me? Like, how would you encourage and empower a young sister who knows in her early 20s that that she's child free?
Basically I'll let her know that she shouldn't let anyone discourage her from not wanting to have kids. Um, to be comfortable with who she is and for what she stands for and being true to herself in her own decisions. And don't just try to have kids because your parents want you to, okay? And just believing in you and following your own true self, because like nobody's not going to take care of you and your kids, especially if you don't want any and you have kids. It's going to be tough for you. Mentally, you're going to be mentally drained. Okay, you don't want to. She doesn't want to put herself in that predicament. So being true to yourself, knowing that you don't want to have kids, that's where she needs to be,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just following her truth.
Yes.
Yeah, most definitely, like just following what she believes in.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you heard it first, everyone. You heard it first. So, Stephanie, this is the time where I tell my guests to shine like a diamond. So,
Okay.
here is your opportunity to share with our audience where they can find you. So, you can share your social media handles, and everything will be in the description box.
All right.
Also, share what great things you have on the horizon and what you are doing with your businesses. So, shine like a diamond.
All right, first of all, I'm the owner of a company called Newbie Solutions LLC, located here virtually in the Atlanta area. I do have an independent contractor that works with me. I own a digital marketing company. We do websites, social media marketing, video marketing, um, a little bit of everything in the digital world, business listings, SEO. You can find me at afrinubiesolutions.com, AFRINUBI solutions.com. If you need a website, if you need, video marketing services, definitely I'm that girl. Also, I have a t-shirt company called Afri Newbie, which is my Instagram handle, Afri Newbie, AFRINUBI. What else? Um,
YouTube services.
uh, yeah, YouTube. All I have all of that. YouTube, Facebook. I do advertising. I promote other companies on my YouTube channel, and yeah, that's it. I'm actually getting into becoming a personal shopper. Me and my business partner, we're going to be launching a company where we do kind of like the Instacart thing, but more like, assisting elderly people, disabled people, with tasks, like, doing jobs around the area for them,
Okay.
not more like picking up prescriptions, doing courier, not really courier work, but like delivery, grocery shopping. I'm trying to get off those little platforms. They'll kick you off after a while, like Instacart. If you have like bad ratings, they'll just dismiss you. So, my friend, she's in Ohio, and we're gonna do it together. Um, I've already started like promoting, the business.
Okay.
So my goal is to be like a shopper or a tasker
Hmm.
for, people, even professional people that just don't have the time to go to the bank and things like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the errand runner. So it's
Yes.
the name of my website is called runerrandsforyou.com.
I like that.
Yeah, I just bought the domain name. I'm surprised it was available. But
Run
yeah,
errands for you. I love that.
yeah, that's the name of it. And I'm in the process of, coming up with the business plan and the website. So that's definitely in the works. And
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much it. So
And you
StephanieMcClain.com is my domain name.
okay,
Yeah.
StephanieMcClain.com. And you can find more about Stephanie in the show notes. But you also forgot to mention you are also an author.
Oh yeah. I know I got so much going on. I be forgetting.
Tell us about your book. And I
Oh
saw
my,
you publicize it.
I know it's somewhere. I can't find it right now. But yeah, my book is called Manifest Everything Right Now. Now, like writing right now. It's a journal where you can write down your manifestations, the things that you want to accomplish in life, and your goals and things of that nature. The book was published back in late 2021 early 2022. I'm a self-published author. I create the book on my own. I ain't pay nobody to do it. I figured it out by watching YouTube. And yeah, so the book I've sold about a few copies. I haven't really been pushing it like that, but I need to.
Well, you
So
heard it here first. I'm gonna have you push it. That's why, because I was just like, I was waiting for you to mention it, and I was just like, I know you have like that's what I said earlier. You have your hands in a lot of pots. So I was
yeah,
like, I'm gonna make sure that I mention it. So thank you for mentioning. And where can people purchase your book?
they could find that book on Amazon, or they could go to stephaniemcclain.com and click on the link on the website, and it'll directly take them to the Amazon. Not only I have that book, but I do have like a diabetic it's a diabetic journal
Okay.
to track your blood sugar and things like that. And I also have like another journal
Okay.
there, but I don't promote the journals like that. I just promote my main book,
Okay.
which is Manifest Your Dreams Right. Manifest Your Dreams Right Now. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, Stephanie McClain, my child-free bestie, the sister that helped me with my YouTube, thank you so much. And I want
You're
to thank
welcome.
everyone for listening to Stephanie McClain. You can find out more about Stephanie McClain and all our other guests in the show notes. Thank you so much for following No Bibs, Burps, Bottles. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening in Spotify, please, please, please leave a comment, let us know. Please follow us over on Instagram. And if you want to know more about No Bibs, Burps, Bottles, the #1 platform that supports, empowers, loves, and inspires child-free Black women, you can head on over to nobibsburpsbottles.com where you can find out more about what we are doing. Until we meet again, please remember that womanhood is not synonymous with motherhood. Peace.
X. Bye.